Hello and welcome to the picturesque hillside town of Fermo in Italy. It's round 2 of the UEM European MX125 Motocross Championship. Hello everybody, my name is Paul Malin. You join us exclusively live on MX Live TV. There you see the temperature about 22 degrees, something like that. A little bit cooler than it was yesterday and the day before. We got here on Thursday and it was around 25, 26 degrees. It's pretty much how it's been, but just a little bit cooler and will remain that way throughout the duration of the day. So pretty much perfect conditions for the riders today on race day. Well, our championship leader in the European 125 Championship at the moment, Tim Gajser. He arrived here with 2 race wins from Bulgaria, and he went out and won the first race yesterday. So he is Mr. Maximum at the moment, Tim Gajser, the Slovenian, on the Silver Action Gajser Racing KTM. Davide Bonini, though, who arrived second in the championship, remains there, but he had a bit of a tough time yesterday. Had to fight through from a long way back to eventually salvage 6th position come the checkered flag. But Henry Jacobi, he now finds himself in 3rd place after a 7th in Moto number 1. Well, last year's winner, Tim Gajser, on track then pretty much for repeating what he did here last year. Of course, he won the final round here last year with 2 Moto victories around this 1,650-meter long circuit. There you see the intermediate splits, the first one from the finish line to the bottom of the wave section on the descent, and then section 2 from there right the way round to the second of the Monster Energy tabletops, almost at the completion of the lap, and then from there to the finish line is the 3rd sector. Riccardo Righi, 12th overall in Bulgaria, and Righi currently in the championship in 7th place with 33 points, just 2 off the guy behind, ahead of him, which is Jorge Zaragoza. Now the big news there is Zaragoza, the Rockstar Energy Suzuki rider, crashed in time training yesterday down through that wave section on the downhill section part of the track and has fractured or broken the wrist, and he's going to be out for around about 3 to 5 weeks, something like that. But Paul Jonas, well, he had a good day yesterday, finishing 3rd in Moto number 1 on the KSM Racing KTM, just behind Tim Gajser. Here's how they lined up in qualifying in their time training session. Tim Gajser was fastest with a 2:02, and he was 2.3 seconds clearer than Paul Jonas. Then it was Riccardo Righi, Davide Bonini, Calvin Blanderen, Václav Kovar, Alexis Verhey, Tommaso Di Pietri, Stein Hoffman, and Henry Jacobi. Then it was Iker Ladanaga, the Spanish rider. So then Magnus Klingsheim, he found himself down in 12th, and then Alessio Della Mora and Jaap Cornet and Michael Mantovani. James Dunn qualified down in 19th on the HM Plant KTM. Remember, he was 3rd in the 2nd race last week, so didn't have a great time either in the first moto. Eventually pulled out and was classified as 36, although that's no points for him. There's the 141 on the grid, and that's Paul Jonas. Alongside him we saw Bonini, the 999, Dave Nichol, our race director, down there as usual, and our Royal Pat Girls, sponsors of the Grand Prix this weekend. They are ready with the 15 and 5-second boards. There's Tim Gajser, 2:43, the Slovenian. Easily won the first moto yesterday by more than 30 seconds from Calvin Blanderen and Jonas Pauls, but the gate about to drop, and not a good jump there from Pauls. 141. And Gajser getting squeezed to the inside in the yellow and red. We've got a faller down in the middle of the pack, but making the whole shot. Coming out, is that Blanderen or maybe Klingsheim? Over the line they go. Yeah, Magnus Klingsheim, 100 from Jaap Cornet. And James Dunn gets a better start this time around in 3rd position. Then Joachim Falden. There we see the 79 there of Cornet and number 200. There in the yellow, just moving into 4th place ahead of Jan Vondrasek is Tim Gajser. So Gajser, there he is in 4th, just the flash of yellow in that bottom right-hander, easily moving into 3rd place, really attacking the circuit. A lot of water went down overnight because of the hot conditions, but this part of the circuit yesterday, through the waves, And down through here, a lot of ruts, and as the day wore on, started to dry out. There were some brave moves down there in the qualifying races, but look how wet it is down the bottom end of the circuit. A few ruts already on the approach to the Investrade Bank. Tabletop, hard and slick where the riders are landing on the right-hand side of the jump. And then they will flick through this left-hander and up, and that will increasingly get harder as the day wears on as well. But at the moment, Geisser making his way forward. Stein Hoffman, number 15, just saw him go through. Looked like he was around about 6th or 7th position, something like that. Of course, we'll give you the rundown as they go through, but already making a move and found a way past James Dunn and up into 2nd place, and as well as the 79, Jaap Corner from the Netherlands. Here's Tim Geisser on the Silver Action KTM, making light work of the riders ahead of him, especially one of his closest rivals based on last year's results, James Dunn on the HM Plant KTM. The 100 though, Klingshelm going to the inside. James Dunn railing around the outside there, but up and over the big Monster Energy doubles. A bit of a stretch on the 125s, but they've taken some of those bumps out on the approach to that, making it just a little bit easier for today. Of course, their second race of the weekend, but at the moment, it's the 100. Magni Klingshelm on the Gunderson MX Team KTM. He comes over the line to complete the first lap ahead of Tim Geisser, Jaap Corner and James Dunn. No surprise, fastest man on the track by more than half a second. The guy there in yellow, Tim Geisser. James Dunn just lurking there back in 4th place through that uphill wave section. Then we've got in 5th place Joachim Falden, then Jan Vondrasek, Anton Lundgren in 7th, Stein Hoffman is 8th, Alex Verhaeghe is 9th, Václav Kovar is 10th, Alessio Della Mora 11th, Calvin Valander and Riccardo Righi. They take us to 13th. Tommaso Di Pietri is 14th. Thomas Doe is 15th. And Davide Bonini, another poor start for him. He's down in 16th. Then Michael Mantovani, 17th place. Ika Ladanaga, the Spaniard, is 8th. Then Brian Toccacelli and Martin Kirch, the rider, down in 20th place. Henry Jacobi, look, down in 21st position. He won't be pleased about that, but making a move for the lead at the moment, the 243 Slovenian. Our championship leader, 3 wins out of 3 so far in 2012 in the UEM 125 European Championship. In the yellow, Tim Geisser. Nick Adams down in 25th position. And Nick Adams was in a point-scoring position before fading to 22nd yesterday. Michael Eccles down in 34th, so not a good start for him either. Paul Jonas, he's still trying to make his way through. He's down in 39th place at the moment. So obviously making that poor start, maybe making a mistake as well somewhere else on that first lap. But around the outside, Tim Geisser is going to slingshot his way around, but it's the longest route through there. And Jaap Corner doing well to hang in there. Or is that, no, it's James Dunn. So Dunn on the rear wheel of Tim Geisser. So Geisser not able to find a way through Magni Klingshelm. Has allowed James Dunn to find a way past Jaap Corner and close in on the rear wheel of the Slovenian there, Tim Geisser, our championship leader. 2 laps complete. And there are your first 3 riders. Klingshelm on the 100 KTM, the 243, Tim Geisser, and then James Dunn. So it's a KTM, 1, 2, 3. At the moment, a longer jump downhill for Geisser. Will he go around the outside and then square to the inside through here? Yeah, beautifully done. Klingshelm just not having the confidence to turn a tighter line through what are pretty sticky conditions on that part of the racetrack. I'd say actually absolute perfect conditions at the moment. Corner then is 4th, just coming into shot now in that city corner. And then we've got a few seconds before it's Jan Vondrasek, number 25, then Anton Lundgren in 6th. Sten Hoffman is 7th. Then Václav Kovar, 8th. Alessio Della Mora and Alex Verhaeghe down in 10th. Joachim Falden, Davide Bonini now up into 12th place. And look at that poor start from 141. Paul Jonas didn't do him any favours at all. Yet Corner there in the blue. Got the good drive. He was the first one to hit the wave section. James Dunn getting a good start, but it was the 100 of Klingshelm who managed just to run up the inside of Corner. So here is the battle for 5th position. Looks like that's been won out at the moment by Anton Lundgren. There's 25, Jan Vondrasek. So 274, Lundgren finding himself moving up into 5th position. So that guy there, 25, Vondrasek on the CSMS, JR team KTM. Just losing a position. Got a tough block in the middle of the track there. Oh, Ryder just catches it. Did he go down though? I think he may have just avoided disaster there. Obviously, one of our leading riders or a back marker just maybe clipping it moments before those guys came through. But here, the battle for 6th place now. That's our leading duo. Our leader's already out of the shot there. This is 2nd and 3rd. Klingshalm, the 100, and James Dunn right behind him, number 200 on the HM Plant KTM UK machine. James Dunn finished 6th last year in this European Championship, looking to get a run around Klingshalm, who goes to the right-hand side of the circuit and cuts off the move from the young Brit. But Klingshalm, 5th place in the championship at the moment, just one behind Calvin Verlanderen. Verlanderen down in 11th place at the moment. A race leader, unless we've lost Tim Geiser, number 243, who overtook these. Maybe there's a flash there. Maybe, yeah. Maybe Geiser has made a mistake and is there in 3rd position. Can't see him anywhere. Although, yesterday, it's still showing Klingshalm as our race leader on our timing monitor, but there was a problem, we believe, maybe with the transponder of the 243, Tim Geiser's machine. He led every single lap yesterday in the first race, but went missing off the timing screen. But this time, the flash of yellow in the background there will be, and I wonder if, you know, that block that was there in the middle of the track earlier might have been from Tim Geiser, maybe just catching it and going down. Challenge for the lead. James Dunn going around the outside then. James Dunn on the right-hand side as we look at it, taking the longer way route through there. Yeah, we saw that flash of yellow. That's Geiser in the background, fastest man on track, making up for that mistake that he made, that we didn't see then on track. James Dunn, will he try to go to the inside? No, he's going to go around. It doesn't get good drive through there at all. 125 is not able to get over that gap onto that plateau, but no advantage gained or lost through there. But once again, to the left-hand side as we look at it, the rider's right, but this time James Dunn tries to go down the inside, but Klingshalm doing a great job detecting where James Dunn is coming in from. And Dunn looking for his first European Championship win at the moment. Still got 15.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Klingshalm looking for his first win as well. 2 6th-place finishes for Klingshalm at the opening round in Bulgaria. A 5th place yesterday. But only finished 18th in the series last year, so quite possibly a learning year for Klingshalm of Norway. That's him there leading, number 100. Well, a nice line there for James Dunn. Doesn't quite get alongside, but he'll be able to brake harder. He's a little bit more advanced than he was this time a lap ago, but just gets hung up around that turn and loses that ground that he's gained. Maybe next time around he might think twice and maybe just push his way down the inside, but guys are closing in all the time in the background there, the yellow. And I reckon that's where Geiser went down here. Very difficult to get up over that second step, but James Dunn getting the run. The finish line straight here. Either side of the ruts for him. Neck and neck, wheel to wheel. And Klingshalm just looks across, knows that James Dunn's going to come through, and has absolutely no reply. Magni Klingshalm, the number 100. So a good bit of riding there from James Dunn. Got on the gas just that little bit earlier. Coming down past pit lane. Positioned himself perfectly as he hit that Monster Energy finish line jump and was able to control that line as he went down the hill. So the Gunderson MX team rider, Magni Klingshell in second, but look at that, look how much time that Tim Geiser has gained already. 2:02 lap time for, or 2:02.9 for James Dunn. It was 2:03.2 for Klingshell, a 1:58.9, chasing these guys down for that man there in third. In the yellow, Tim Geiser, our championship leader, he wants to win every race. He's also going to be riding every round of the European MX2 Championship as well when that starts, and maybe 1 or 2 Grand Prix at the end of the season if the calendar allows. But Marco Modaski, the Silver Action KTM manager, he speaks very highly of Tim Geiser, and it's easy to understand why. He's just pushing that little bit harder than the other guys around him, braking a little bit later, getting on the gas just that little bit sooner. And now he's going after James Dunn. This is a battle for the lead. Geiser there in second position. That is a very awkward corner, actually. It's not as banked as you think it is. Going to be very easy to run on there if you're not careful, or lose the rear end over the top. But see Geiser just getting further up onto that step than James Dunn. But now he's running alongside. Look at the difference in power between those two KTMs. Both 125cc, but Geiser just able to power by and take the lead. So he's back in front on lap 6. James Dunn going to try and follow him, you would suspect, see if he can match the pace of the super smooth Slovenian. Maybe just pick up 1 or 2 things. Different line choice through there. James Dunn had been going wide. Geiser going through the middle. But already starting to put some distance between himself and James Dunn. Doubling his way through there, look. And dropping off there, nice as well. No single through there, just getting on the gas. There's Bonini. Bonini now in 6th place. So with 11.5 minutes gone, or to go, sorry, it's Tim Geiser from James Dunn. Magni Klingshell is 3rd from Norway. Yet Corner is 4th. He was the guy that grabbed that whole shot. Anton Lundgren is 5th. Then Davide Bonini, we just saw him go through on the Italian Maglia KTM. Václav Kovar is in 7th, and Alessio Della Mora is 8th. Jan Vondrasek is 9th. Calvin Valanderen is 10th. Valanderen finishing 2nd. Yesterday's moto. That hooked him up the championship leaderboard. And Stin Hoffman 11th. Alex Verhaeg is 12th. Ricardo Righi is 13th. Ikan Lananaga is 14th. And Michael Mantovani down in 15th. Tommaso Di Pietri, Joachim Falden, Henry Jacobi now in 18th place. Thomas Doe and Martin Kirch just there still in 20th place. Looking for Pauls Jonas, only 30th place. Just found a way past Nicholas Adams, who's down in 31st position at the moment. Anyway, we're going down the pit lane to talk to this rider's team right here.
Currently in the pit lane of Davide Bonini. He's currently 2nd in the championship. He's having a bit of a tough weekend.
La gara di ieri è partito non bene, è caduto 3 volte per il nervosismo della gara italiana. Ha recuperato bene, anche questa mattina è partito non benissimo, ma sta registrando dei buonissimi tempi. Speriamo bene.
Well, we just heard there, he had a bit of a tough start yesterday, made several mistakes, and there's obviously a bit of pressure there with it being his home GP, but he's just seen some really good lines from him, so hopefully he'll be back up in that top 3.
Yeah, just looking at the lap chart from yesterday, Bonini came around the first lap in 8th place, but then dropped to 18th. Although that was the position that he was when he came through at the end of that 2nd lap. He was actually outside of that top 20 position, and they eventually pulled himself up into 14th before losing another position. And then basically from there he pushed on, eventually climbed his way back up to 6th. One of the fastest riders on the track yesterday, but didn't show in the results and didn't make a good start here in the 2nd race either. And we just heard from his crew that, yeah, just making it a bit tough for himself. Maybe even just a little bit nervous with it being his home round. That's Jape Cornet, 79. from the Netherlands on the KTM, works with the KNMV, the Dutch Federation. Carlo Hulsen and the guys. Paul Jonas, he's out. We saw him run into the gate or get a bad jump, but the 85cc FIM World Junior Champion from last year not picking up any points, and he arrived into this fourth moto, 11th place in the championship. Didn't score in the second race, went out on the first lap in Bulgaria, 14th in moto number 1. He was third yesterday though, so he would have been looking to get on the podium, but that poor start already put him on the back foot, and as we said a moment ago, down in 30th place before he went out. So not a good weekend for Paul Jonas. The 1-1-2, that's Calvin Verlanderen. He's now in 9th place from the Netherlands. So he's getting a bit of a push on the Bodo Schmidt Motorsport KTM. Trying to close in on Alessio Della Mora, the 114, just there in the green in the middle. And ahead of those guys is Václav Kovar, the 101, down in 7th position. He's over the line now, so too is Della Mora, and then Verlanderen just there, the rider at the rear of the shot. So this, a three-way battle for 7th place, which that rider there, Václav Kovar on the Moto Team Excel KTM, currently holding on to that position, and Václav only 20th in the championship at the moment. 18th and 12th at the opening round. And did he pick up a few points yesterday? I think he did. No, he didn't, sorry. So in a good position at the moment is Kovar, there in 7th. Over the Invest Trade Bank tabletop, bottom end of the circuit. It's a long way back up if you were to go back up in a straight line from there. 5.95 in Brian Toscacelli, the Suzuki rider. He tried his best, but obviously not happening for him. No points in Bulgaria, 16th in Moto number 1 yesterday, but his crew there more than happy with the progress that he made this weekend, and the fact that, okay, it's a tough round, but no worries, just get on with it. James Dunn still in 2nd place. He's now 8 seconds down on our leader, Tim Geiser. He was last time around. Geiser just over the line. There's Magny Klingschall, and James Dunn just ahead of him. And James Dunn now still in 2nd, but losing another 3 seconds that lap to our race leader, Tim Geiser. The 100, though, of Magny Klingschall on the Gunderson MX team. KTM, Kenneth Gunderson, of course, a former Grand Prix racer in MX2 and MX1. So obviously able to pass on a wealth of knowledge and experience. Former Yamaha rider, former KTM rider. Who was that? 16, Nick Adams. So Nick Adams goes out. That was an awkward track, part of the track yesterday, especially coming over that tabletop into this corner now. The ruts went pretty much all the way on the downside of that jump, all the way to the corner, and there were 1 or 2 sneaky little lines either side if you could look for them and find them. But yeah, talking to the most riders yesterday, that was probably one of the more difficult parts of the track, coupled with the downhill wave section around about turn 5, turn 6. So going to be no points for Nicholas Adams then. Unlike, at the moment, James Dunn, fellow Brit, on the HM Plant UK KTM. He tried to go after the win when Tim Geiser made that mistake on, what, lap 2, lap 3. And then when Geiser came back past him, he thought he'd probably just try and hang it out a little bit and try and go with the Slovenian. But that lasted for, what, maybe 3 or 4 corners. Geiser just the stronger rider around here this weekend, just like he was in Bulgaria a week ago. So just over 4 minutes plus 2 to go, and we've got a whole bunch of riders fighting here. That might be the 25 actually, or maybe the 15. of Stin Hoffman. And if that's the case, then this is a multi-bike battle for 10th place. So there's the number 8. He's in there. So these guys not in the main sort of points area, just on the edge of the 20th place, because that was Gianluca Deghi, Silver Action KTM rider. He was down in 21st, so he's got the guy ahead of him there, the 117 of Joachim Falden. Whoa, just getting over that double in the background. So all these guys battling over the last couple of points. And that goes right back to Henry Jacobi, number 29, just ahead of these guys. He's about to come over the line now. Jacobi is over the line now in 17th. And then this is a battle for 18th place. Martin Kurtz, Joachim Falden, Gianluca Deghi, and Arnie Jasikonis and Thomas Dope. And a few more, actually. Philip Podmol in there. Good style. Tim Geiser, look at that ground falling away there. As I said a few laps ago, you wouldn't want to get too close to that outside line. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe an MX1 or MX2 rider just being pushed over that. There's not a lot of room in that corner. The bank not that high at that point on the racetrack. Maybe for obvious reasons, just to mix things up just that little bit. There's Klingshall, finished 5th yesterday. Davide Bonini now into 5th position. Anton Lundgren down in 6th place. Klingshall. There's Bonini. He's in 5th place on the Italian Maglia KTM. Easily up to the top end of there. He's closing in on Jeb Cornef. So Bonini looking to pounce on the Dutch rider there, number 79. Battle for 4th place for Bonini. That's 4th place just ahead of him, Cornet. Number 79. Bonini last time around, a 2:05.2. So wasn't as quick on the overall lap, but he's obviously found time somewhere to gain on Jep Cornet. In terms of the overall, as it stands at the moment, Tim Geiser, it's going to be another 50 points for him. Look at the points he makes there, 14 points. At least he will increase his lead over Magne Klingsheim. Then Calvin Verlanderen looking for his first podium. Both those guys looking for their first podiums overall, Klingsheim and Calvin Verlanderen. Then Bonini here, looking at 4th at the moment. He will pick up another 2 points here. That'll put him on 33. Then he's going to have to find a way through. 377. Getting caught there. Martin Kirch. Kirch was in 20th position for much of the race, but struggling to come to grips with that part of the circuit. So Tim Geiser over the line. James Dunn was second last time around. Kirch looks like he may be coming in. Heavily watered down past pit lane. That's immediately coming out of the first turn. Quite heavy through there yesterday as well. A lot of ruts, then eventually that started to dry out, so you had drying ruts. Quite a few acceleration bumps as well, good speed bumps. There's our race leader, 3 laps to go, Tim Geiser. Unbeaten at the moment in 2012. 3 wins out of 3, looking at his 4th race victory here on that Silver Action KTM. Wherever the mistake was that he made, we never saw it. Put him around 10 seconds or so, even maybe further back, certainly put him back down to 4th place. 114, Della Mora. So Della Mora, he was well placed just a moment ago, dropping down the leaderboard now. But Klingshelm is still third. Kelner is still fourth. He's still in that battle with Bonini in fifth. Be interesting to see how this kid gets on in MX2. Rode a couple of European MX2 rounds last year. But certainly looked more comfortable on the 125. And looking pretty good on track at the moment as well. Coming around and take the 2-lap board. Wringing every ounce of power out of that little 125. Back onto the main straight, past pit lane. 2 laps to go then. Set the fastest lap of the race on lap 5 of 13 so far with a 1:58.9. James Dern, the next fastest on track, 2 minutes, .907. But at the moment, our race leader there, Tim Geiser. Last time around a 2:02.5. James Dunn over the line in second with a 2:06.0. And Klingshelm there in third. Going to finish second overall this weekend with 2:06.2. So just marginally slower, but already now 7 seconds or 6.5 seconds behind the rider in second position, James Dunn. A little bit cooler conditions today. A bit more cloud cover. It seemed like there was a cloud in the sky. There was Geiser in the opposite direction on the Invest Trade Bank, bottom end of the circuit. I'm sure the 100 of Klingshelm would have seen that as he dropped downhill. Bonini now in fourth place. So the Maglia Italia KTM rider has found a way past Jaap Cornet. That's Verlanderen. Down in 8th place in the race at the moment on the Bodo Schmidt Motorsport KTM. So he'll be more pleased with that. Verlanderen finishing second in the first moto yesterday, 8th at the moment. Let's just keep an eye on Bonini though. How far behind? No, he's about 8 seconds down. Here's Bonini on Klingshelm. So barring any mistakes from the Norwegian on that number 100, Gundersen KTM, I can't really see Bonini gaining that position and therefore jumping up onto the podium. That's James Dunn. Tough first moto in Bulgaria, tough one yesterday, no points. But making up for it in his second race as he approaches the 1-lap board to start his final lap of this second moto here in Fermo. Didn't ride here last year, but he did take podium finishes at Mathley Basin in the second moto. The first moto he was second as well in the Czech Republic and Lockett, and a third in the second moto in Bulgaria. Hence why he was possibly billed as one of the favourites, along with this guy here, Tim Geiser, to go after the vacant European MX125 Championship, because no Simone Zecchina, he's an MX2 rider for the JTEC Yamaha squad, although injured at the moment. Hopefully see him back in France at Saint-Jean-d'Angely. But Tim Geiser did finish second in the championship. 21 points clear of Jeremy Sewer of Switzerland and Samuele Bernardini. As long as he gets around this final lap. Tim Geiser looking at maximum points out of the first 4 motos to run. Oh, he's looking down at the gear shift area there. The foot peg, maybe he's been into a rut. Got a whole load of mud just caught around that foot peg area, but obviously looked like it freed itself. So Up the hill he comes in for the final time. Doesn't need to double his way through there, but Tim Geiser will come over the line any moment now. And he wins a second moto here and takes the overall win in Fermo. So the Silver Action KTM rider then looks down at the bike for the first time. Maybe he just damaged it in the fall that he had earlier on that we didn't see. There's the 200. James Dunn comes over the line to take second. And a bit of a shake of the arm there. I'm just wondering whether he had a bit of arm pump. I think Guy said just waiting to congratulate James Dunn. There you go. Because James Dunn will have to go right at that corner. And Guy said he can come up towards us, make his way towards the podium area. Bernini comes home in fourth position. There's Klingshelm. But no one really a match for the guy in yellow. There is Bernini. Waiting for the rest of the guys to come through. That is Riccardo Reggi in ninth position and Sten Hoffman down in 10th. Of course, we'll give you the rundown in a moment, but here's our race winner and round winner.
A race win there for you.
Yeah, it was a good race. In the beginning, I crashed one time and then I passed again everybody. So I win. This is the most important for championship.
Well done.
Yeah, made a crash, made a mistake, got himself back up to the front to win. That's the most important thing. Of course, we'll hear from him again in just a moment after the podium ceremony. Congratulations from family and friends and one or two other people. More than pleased with his performance. Obviously making it harder work for himself than yesterday, but there you go. That was a moment. Pretty big whip for him as he lights the candles on the Monster Energy finish line jump. So we wait to go down to the podium area. That'll be pretty imminent. Before that, though, we will give you the official rundown of the top 20 point scorers. Gianluca Deghi coming over the line in 17th position, so he came through that pack of riders a few laps from the end to get himself 4 points. Jassikonis. Down in 18th place, 19th, Philip Podmol. And 20th, Thomas Du.
Giancarlo, quando sei pronto naturalmente a te la linea per il momento.
Sì, naturalmente Giulio.
La regia di Marco.
Ancora qualche istante per consentire ai piloti di rinfrescarsi, rendersi.
Here's how the race finished then. No doubt about it. A win for Tim Geiser on the Silver Action KTM. Second was James Dunn. Third, Manny Klingshelm. Fourth, Davide Bernini. Fifth, Jet Corneth. Then it was Anton Lundgren, Vaclav Kovar, and Calvin Valanderen. Riccardo Righi was 9th and Sten Hoffman was 10th. Then it was Laranaga for Spain, Tommaso Del Pietri, Henry Jacobi. 14th was the 722 of Michael Mantovani, followed by Alex Verhaeghe, Dietger Damians, Gianluca Deghi, The Greek rider, number 77, Araminas Jassikonis, Philip Podmol, and Thomas Doe. Overall, Tim Geiser.
Per cui dobbiamo attendere l'ok da parte della regia per dare il via alla premiazione.
He's the man to beat in a moment. Geiser, Klimshalm, and Calvin Valanderen. Bonini 4th, Rigi 5th, Yep Corneth, James Dunn 7th, and Laranaga down in 8th. Tommaso Del Pietri and Henry Jacobi. Paul Jonas, he'll be disappointed with that. 3rd yesterday, no points today for him. Championship. Well, Tim Geiser will extend his championship lead. He goes 100 points maximum. And look at that, 25 points clear now of Bonini. And Klimshalm is 3rd. He moves up a position or 2, actually. Valanderen moves up a position. James Dunn moving up from 14th to 9th now. Dick Damien stays 17th. Stin Hoffman, he moves up as well from 23rd position. So good results for some riders. Some guys not here. Ruziorg, for instance. And Leonardo Frasali picking up 1 point. So that was yesterday, moto number 1. Manufacturers standings in the 125 European Championship. Of course, KTM, they're going to be on 100 points as well. Suzuki 2nd, no Jorge Zaragoza this weekend. Kawasaki and Yamaha tying on points, 6 for those in 3rd and 4th place. A little bit of water going down on the track, as you can see. However, you can create a hat, then do it like that. Here's how it happened in moto number 2, though. The gate dropped. It wasn't a good jump for the 141 of Paul Jonas, who finished 3rd in the moto yesterday. Instead, it was Yep Corneth who went round the outside, but he was just pipped there to that first wave by the number 100, Manny Klimshalm. Klimshalm then came under pressure from the hard-charging 243 of Tim Geiser on the Silver Action KTM. Came from about 5th position on the first lap, wasted no time in carving his way through. Then Geiser made a mistake and dropped back to 4th behind Yep Corneth. Found his way back through past Klimshalm and number 200 James Dunn to move back into the lead, where he won comfortably in the end. James Dunn came home in 2nd position, but the 3rd place rider was Manny Klimshalm. And Klimshalm would find himself 2nd overall in this round here. James Dunn, well, it was a difficult race for him yesterday, no points wherever, but 2nd in the moto today. But it was a win for 243 Tim Geiser. And of course, Tim Geiser, our overall winner. Machine out on the track, firming up those ruts, getting rid of a few, just on the base of the jump. Here's our overall podium then, here, round 2 of the UEM 125 European Motocross Championship. 3rd overall, the 112. From the Netherlands on the Bodo Schmidt Motorsport KTM, Calvin Valanderen. Speaks with a very strong South African accent, but he's a Dutch passport holder. 2nd overall, Manny Klimshalm of Norway. On the Gunderson Racing KTM. But Timo Geiser, our overall winner, riding for Silver Action KTM, of course an Italian team. Hence the response. Marco Medaski, team manager, team owner for KTM Silver Action, takes the manufacturer's step for the 2nd time in 2 weeks. But 3rd trophy delivered by Giuseppe Bartolucci. So Calvin Van Anderen, he'll like that. Being on the podium, taking a third place trophy, second overall. Lorenzo Bonavecchi, or Bonavecchi, FMI councillor, so works for the Italian Federation. That for mainly Klingschall. So all that hard work with Kenneth Gunnarsson finally paying off. The overall winner, though, Tim Geiser gets his trophy from Giovanni Bracconi, president of MC Montresato Motorcycle Club here. That's another overall victory for Tim Geiser. 3 on the trot now, if you count back to Fermo, the final round last year where he took 2 motos. So in that respect, 6 wins out of 6 at the moment. On countback, Marco Medaski receives the winner's trophy for KTM. But that's your podium, and the red plate, though, still belongs to Tim Geiser, our official from the UEM, probably from the ACU, I would think. He's the only UEM delegate I've seen floating around this weekend. Eddie Hurd right on cue. There we go. Here is the red plate. Tim Geiser is still the championship leader. If you're joining us for the first time, that is what that red plate, the red number plate signifies. That's why he has a red plate on the front of his Silver Action KTM. But he's from Slovenia. He's the overall winner this weekend. And it's national anthem time for Tim Geiser and Slovenia. After all the photos, of course. KTM, of course, winning manufacturers in the 125 category. Here's the national anthem of Austria.
Viene premiata con l'inno austriaco, visto che parliamo di KTM.
So for Tim Geiser then, it's 4 wins out of 4 in 2012, 6 from 6 from the final round last year to this point now, round 2. He's on a 100-point maximum. He takes the overall win here in Fermo for Silver Action KTM. Despite that mistake, making it look very, very easy here on the hard-packed hillside of this stunning Italian circuit. Set in a fantastic location. That's Fermo up on the hillside about 4 kilometers away. Once again, the moment where Tim Geiser crossed that finish line. The rider just ahead of him there. Couldn't quite make out who that was, but might have been the 117. If that was the case, it was Joachim Falden. Right, we're pretty much getting ready to go down to the podium area. Amy Dargan, our girl with the mic, getting ready to speak to our winners, first, second and third in that order. And of course, the Slovenian Tim Geiser, the undisputed winner this weekend for Silver Action KTM. Let's go down to Amy. She's got our winner with him, Tim.
Tim, you cleaned up here last year and you've just done it again.
Yes, last year I win here twice, so now also. But in second race I have some problem. I crashed, so it was fight for first place, but I did it. This is the most important.
Well done.
Thank you.
And that's the thing, the most important thing. He had to fight. For the first time this year, really, but making it look very, very easy. I'm sure there'll be other challenges ahead, though. in the remaining rounds, but for now, Bulgaria, a double moto winner, and Italy, a double moto winner. 100 points on the board, maximum points for him. He has a 25-point advantage over Davide Bonini, who failed to make the podium this weekend. He had to settle for fourth, but still remains second in the championship. Second overall, though, this weekend, the Norwegian on the Gundersen KTM. That was Magni Klinschall. So Klinschall, fifth yesterday, third today, good enough for second. He should be down by the podium, and hopefully we get to hear from him. If we have time, of course. Here we go.
Manny, how was that weekend for you?
I have a good start and I just have an awesome weekend.
Thank you.
First podium, man, a few words. Good start, an awesome weekend. So, good start yesterday as well, finished fifth. Was running up front for a while. In the first moto was Magni Klinschall. Was he? Yeah, he actually started in sixth, got up to fourth, stayed there for a few laps before dropping down to fifth, I beg your pardon, but obviously put him in a good, confident mood for today. Came home after leading a few laps today, eventually in third position, good enough for second overall. Third overall, Calvin Verlanderen, second in moto number one yesterday, had to settle for eighth today.
Calvin, how did you find the track this weekend?
Track was nice. Like the first race on Saturday evening was really rough, like really rutty and rough, but I handled it well. My bike was running good. I can't thank the team enough. They really helped me a lot. Scott, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So Calvin Verlanderen then took his first podium race finish yesterday with a second. Had to fight for eighth position today, though, but that was just good enough to edge out Davide Bonini by a couple of points for that third step on a podium. And a couple of those guys, Klinschall and this guy here, Calvin Verlanderen, podium debutants this weekend in Fermo. I'm sure they won't forget it. They will now have the confidence to push on and maybe go for these podium steps in the future. So the Bodo Schmidt KTM rider, Calvin Verlanderen, third overall this weekend. Spoke to him yesterday, and his dad, nice kid. But that's it from Fermo. Join us in about an hour's time when we go live with FIM MX2 Race 1. My name's Paul Mellin. Thanks for watching us on MX Live TV. Don't forget, we have our live studio show around 2:15 later on today. That's it from Fermo. We'll see you in 1 hour's time. Bye for now.